Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today. And today, the Houston Texans have released 2 players. Well, they got to release a lot of players. Today, they have to release over 30 players. But 2 of the players the Houston Texans have released is Steven Sims, wide receiver / punt and kick returner, who has done a really solid job throughout camp and preseason. In the preseason, the first game against the Patriots, he had 2 receptions for 17 receiving yards. In the second game against the Dolphins, he had 1 reception for 12 receiving yards and did not have any receptions in the last game against the Saints. But he was a really, really decent kick returner and a punt returner for the Houston Texans. He had like a kick return. He had like a 40-yard kick return, I think. It was like a 40-yard punt return he had against the Dolphins. I think he started at the 20-something yard line on the punt return and ended up all the way to in Dolphins territory to the 40-something yard line. So had some really solid punt returns and even some decent kick returns for the Houston Texans throughout training camp and preseason. And he was a guy I could have thought would have potentially made the roster just because he had strengths at multiple things with receiving and kick returning. But you have a lot of players that can do that on this roster. Tank Dell, the rookie, Tavier Thomas. The list goes on to player. I mean, Desmond King was a guy that was going to be involved, but the Texans did release Desmond King. But you have Tavier Thomas. You have Tank Dell. You have a couple other guys that will be involved in. Even running back Mike Boone is another guy that is expected to be a little bit active in punt and kick returns. So, I mean, the Texans, it makes sense that they're making this move. They also did release a cornerback named Jacobi Francis. So, I mean, not surprising there that the Texans released Jacobi Francis. Not at all. But I honestly, as we started to see some other guys start to play better at that punter and kick return position, I started to think more and more that Steven Sims would get cut by the Texans. So not that surprised by it. But at the same time, I wish him the best because he's a solid player. He's a decent wide receiver, and he's a really good punt returner. So I think someone will definitely pick him up with him being a decent wide receiver. The only problem is him hitting the field, and then a really good punt returner. Someone will pick him up. If not on their practice squad, on their 53-man roster. This kid is a stud. Just Texans had too many wide receiver spots that need to be filled, and you have 6 guys at the wide receiver spot that need to make the roster. You have Tank Dell, you have Nico Collins, Robert Woods, John Mechie, Xavier Hutchinson, and who else am I missing? Xavier and Noah Brown as well. So you have those 6 guys, and you have all that other talent at that kick and punt returning position. There was really no need for Steven Sims. As for Jacobi Francis, not surprised by him getting cut either. That was an expected move, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what other roster cuts the Houston Texans make. That's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out. Go Texans.